Guys, I'm impressed, at least with the port size, okay? These things have had some work done to them. I'm really excited about these heads. I think with these heads on this fresh engine, a little bit of a cam, and guys, look at this. Hold on. So you see the size of those ports? Like, these are the headers, stock headers that were being run on these massive exhaust ports. Those are pretty big exhaust ports right there for just a street head. I think this thing's gonna wake up with a cam, some more compression, fresh engine, and some good headers. I wasn't going to use the Canfields, but after we pulled the headers off and saw that they've had some work, they were gonna use them. Hunter, are you having fun at least doing this? Yeah, that would go through a water jacket.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting to pull water with me.
Yeah. This is the most bizarre build ever. I've never seen
I don't really want to touch this like this.
That's fine, we'll clean it off. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this head off, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys, these heads have a 205 valve in them, so they're pretty big. But let's go ahead and lift this head off and see what we got. I'll take it over to the table and see.
All right.
Hold on, we may have an issue here. Oh, I bet you they do. So I'm no expert with heads and things like that, but looking at this head, I see what looks to be a cutout around here, which from back in the day, I remember guys doing this, and this is an old style deal here. We don't really do this much anymore. This is where the fire ring goes right here. That's something that was really done, I think, in the early 2000s through the mid 2000s. People were doing that. These heads have had some work done to them. As you can see, they've been ported on, more polished, I would say. So here are our pistons. Everything looks pretty good. It's got some pretty good wear in here. Cylinder walls are slick as a baby's ass. Yeah, this thing has definitely been run for a long time, for sure. This thing's got some miles on it, but it looks to be in pretty good condition. It looks like a standard bore. I don't see any markings, any 30 over, anything like that. Looks like we got ourselves a really good block here. So what we'll do is put this block up once we get these heads off of it, and eventually if we need to rebuild one or something like that, this will be our next block that we use. For now, we're gonna use our old 68 block over here, and we're gonna go that route. And then we'll get this one rebuilt, and then we'll have another one, okay? So that's just the way, I mean, that's the way we need to do things. That way we always have a fresh engine, right? Let me take you guys out here and show you what we got done to the car. Not much really, but we did get it cleaned up. So we're probably gonna leave this engine bay red. I think my wife has talked me into it. We'll do like just a bright red in here. We'll make it look good. What I don't want is I don't want this engine bay to look like I left it and didn't paint it. I mentioned this in the live stream. Why are we doing this right now? Well, honestly, we're doing this because the engine didn't sound the best. It just had some weird sound to it. The valve train geometry and all that stuff looked really good on the head. I showed that in the live stream. It could have been a lifter or something like that. Either way, we're gonna pull this thing down a little bit further, check it out, see what's going on. But stay tuned, because this thing should have its heartbeat back in maybe a couple of weeks. As you can see, all I'm doing is going around and blending in areas. So I had to basically mix a color to work. I used vermilion red, which is the color of the Retro Fox. This car is actually called bright red. But I took vermilion red, added a little bit of black and some blue to it. There again, remember, you're not gonna see a lot of this stuff because obviously the engine's gonna be in here. The biggest thing is gonna be up top and on the strut towers. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and shoot a little bit of clear. I'm gonna have to really turn the air down on this because I don't wanna get stuff all over everything. So I'll probably drape some plastic over the Calypso because clear coat is not something you really wanna get in the air around a vehicle that's remotely close anyway. So I'll go ahead and wrap everything up, mix up a little bit of clear, and shoot this thing and get ready to tell you what's up with the heads. We got the heads off and we looked at them and they were O-ring grooved. They had been cut for an O-ring. So I call up Southern Performance. Ron, great guy, I deal with him all the time. I called him up, I'm like, hey man, what's the deal with these like fire ring grooves, these O-rings and the heads? I was like, I remember something about it, you know, from back in the day, but I don't remember everything. He's like, no problem. He said, we can just machine it out. So it's a very, very slight groove. Hey, cool, added compression to the car. So we're gonna machine the grooves out. He's gonna go in, do a valve job if they need them, clean everything up, look them over good, and guys, we're gonna have a good set of heads. I'm very excited because those heads look awesome. I forgot how big those heads were. Anyway, those will be coming back hopefully within the next week or so, and we'll get the engine put back in the car. So there is a possibility that I try something I've never done before, which is drop an engine in the car without the heads on it. So we will basically take this engine over here and bolt the AOD up to the back of it and go ahead and just put the engine, transmission, everything else in the car, and we can start actually hooking up a few little things here or there. We can get the starter in the car, we can get the transmission in, all the cables and all that stuff run, and then the only thing left to do will be slap heads, intake, headers, and drive shaft essentially in the car. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, slap some clear coat on this, and I'll show you guys the final results. Tell me what you think. You think this is something kind of cool, or does it just look unfinished? I like it. I think it looks good. I think this is a really good look for the car. I guess everybody will always remember the Gray Fox with the red engine bay for no reason. That's probably as far as I'm gonna go with detailing all this stuff, because once you get the engine in, you know, it's gonna hide a lot of different things. So let's talk about this engine real fast before we go. Now that the heads are at the machine shop, I should have those back in a week or so. I may just open these up a little bit. I think if I can open them up some, not get into a mess with that, I think these will be pretty good. So we'll see what we got. Anyway, guys, I just want to leave you with this. Dare to be different, right? Do some different things, try different stuff. It doesn't matter. This will be a good time to go ahead and do the 373s in the car. Go ahead and do engine, transmission, gears, and all that stuff. So we may go ahead and start on that. If not, we'll find something else to do. We'll finish throwing this motor together with all of its accessories. I had to order a bunch of new stuff today, so we'll get on that. All right, guys, look, I hope you like it. It's different, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. And as always, thanks for watching.